Okay. Hello, everyone. Today's guest is the lovely AzzyVR, AZZYVR, at I believe twitch.tv/AzzyVR, right?
Yeah.
Cool,
hmm
cool. Thank you so much for being here, Azzy.
Thank you so much
Uh,
for having me, old girls.
I uh, I personally, I mean, I know you as like a VR chat content creator, and you also play a lot of first person shooters, right?
Yeah.
Is there how would you describe yourself and your content? Like if someone rated you and like,
I
um,
how I always say like it's like I'm just a just chatting content like creator and then like I do a lot of random things. I try to like spice up the chat once in a while, make people feel hype and excited to be there and just like I don't know. How I'm just honestly there to just chat, have a good time and vibe with everyone and make friends.
yeah, and I think you do. You really are like a very comfy streamer. I see. I've
hmm
seen your streams where you like just go for a drive, which I think is really nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, you definitely are great at talking with chat and providing like a comfy, safe atmosphere.
hmm
Um, I'll ask you like because I ask this to a lot of people, pretty much everyone who does VR chat. How long have you been in VR, and like what were your first experiences like in
Well,
VR?
Well, the first time I was in VR was actually like last year of August. I
Mm-hmm.
was in so I bought a Quest 2 and my friend was talking me into getting a Quest 2. He was like, "Hey, you should get a Quest 2. Like we could play like Pavlov and this and this." I was like, "That's the biggest waste of money that I could ever see like dropping on VR."
Wow.
And
Yeah.
and then I sucked it up. I said, you know what? I'm gonna scrap together whatever I have and pay for like a headset. So I bought like the cheapest one.
A Quest
And
2?
yeah, the
The
Quest 2, like the cheapest version of it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I ended up just going over buying it and then went home, bought like the link cable, everything, and I tried it out. I enjoyed it. I really loved Pavlov for the first time. And then what caught my eye was that I went back into the reasoning why I was getting into VR is because I ended up watching ADC. I watched
Yeah.
ADC and Lulu and everyone,
Mm-hmm.
and that what got me into VR. I was like, yo, I should go back into VR chat because I had a love for it. It was like I was playing in desktop, but I enjoyed like talking to people, making friends. Everyone was like really chill and open.
Yeah.
And then now I got the chance to do that. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take advantage of it. And
Mm-hmm.
then over time, here I am. I can't believe like how far I
Like
got
you
with VR.
got your full body and stuff.
Mhm.
What how much time after that did you like get full body? And are you on a what headset are you on now? Are you still on Quest 2 or
I
do
know I'm on the index. I'm
mm,
on the index with three Vive trackers right now.
mm-hmm.
Um, so I got my full body around in October, I think. Yeah, October. Because one of my friends from Los Angeles, he drove all the way down to my city, and he was like, "Hey, I'm giving you my old trackers so you can use, and
Oh, that's
because
so nice.
I see you growing on Twitch, I want you to actually like utilize this, and
Oh,
I already bought my old trackers." And I was like, "You didn't have to do that." And then he
oh,
gave me them, and I really appreciate it. Like till this day, I'm thankful and to everyone who has helped me to get
yeah.
where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can never like forget those people.
Oh,
It's just like it means a lot to me.
yeah, that's really
Mhm.
sweet. What were your first experiences with VR chat? You said you were in desktop mode. Like, how long have you? Is it just been like the same amount of time, like about a
Um,
year?
so I got into desktop around when the Ugandan knuckles was a thing, and then I
Oh,
was
that's a
like,
long time ago.
yeah, that
Yeah.
was a long time ago, and I was part of that little meme as well because I was running around doing the meme,
Mm-hmm.
and then I got really bored of it, so I was thinking, hey, why not try to make models? And I tried to do that, and I was like, nope, this is not what this is not it. So I actually stopped playing VR because a lot of my friends didn't jump in, and I was actually like really young. And
Yeah,
me being
right.
young at the
Yeah.
time when when the Ugandan knuckles was still a thing, I was like, you know what? This is not the game for me yet. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait until like I'm an adult or whenever like I can get
Mm-hmm.
into VR, then I'll come back. And it took like a long time. Within that time frame, I did competitive gaming, so that's like what I was like focused on.
Yeah.
But for VR, it was mainly um, I stopped playing for that many years. Came back like last year, fully into VR was last year, and it's been it's been a wonderful journey.
Yeah.
And I couldn't like I wanna. The only thing I would say that if I ever could go back to
Mm-hmm.
something, like go back and change something, uh, would be don't waste my time getting a Quest.
Just
I
go
would tell
straight for
myself
the
just go
index.
straight for the index, go straight for the
Yeah.
index, get 3 trackers, and done. That's it.
Yeah.
But everything else, I'm glad to be doing this. Really
Yeah.
glad.
Yeah. Do you still have your Quest?
Yeah, it's actually in my box. So it's in a box over there as a backup. I still have all the
Yeah.
applications and
It's
everything
not a
just in
bad
case.
backup. I
Yeah.
actually got one over Christmas cuz or on Black Friday cuz I was just like cuz you know when people go into your chat and they're like, "What headset should I get?" And I would always
Mhm.
be like, "Well, Quest 2 if you know you're just getting into it just cuz it's cheaper." But I never actually used it. So I
Yeah.
was like, I should actually use this and see cuz I'm a
Hmm.
huge fan of actually like mobile VR and like non-desktop VR. Like I had like Gear VR and
Hmm.
Oculus Go, I think it was called before the Quest. And I just think it's interesting to see like what I guess the quote unquote mainstream sees in VR or how they see VR
Yeah.
compared to like people who use the index and stuff. But anyway, that being
Hmm.
said,
Yeah.
um, like you said, like it's been an amazing journey, and I feel the same way about my
Hmm.
my VR experience. Are there any? Is there anything in particular that makes you say that? Like,
Well,
what do
the
you? Yeah.
no, go
I was
for
saying, what?
first.
Yeah. What do you love about VR, and what are the things that like made it an amazing journey for you?
I feel like VR has made me come to realize that there's another, it is like the true me. Because
Yeah.
whenever I'm like outside in person, I'm not really like being myself sometimes, and I'm not really happy because
Yeah.
VR kind of makes you escape and it puts you into like, the virtual world, and you get to do everything that you want to do, and at the same time, I actually love to travel. Here's the other thing why I feel like I'm so glad to be in VR is because I never get to travel. I never got to travel once in my life, except for
Um.
like going to like Nevada, going to Vegas, and that's it. That's the
Yeah.
furthest I've ever been. And getting the chance to go to like this world, this other world, and like there's so many different changes, and like everything looks so beautiful, and it's in front of your own eyes, and like at the touch of your fingertips, it's like unique.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like obviously it's escaping reality, but like you also learn, like you also get to meet great people. Like I met like you, I met Oni, I met like Lumi. Lumi is like the most important. Like
Mm.
they were like the first person I ever met. And then like it brings into a lot of joy because at the time when I did it, it was still the pandemic. It was still like at the time with COVID, and that's why making new friends was like priority. It was like huge priority for me because I'm like, I just got out of high school. I want to make new friends now.
Yeah.
And I was already in like my second year of college doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just sitting there. I'm like, I'm still on Zoom call and no one wants to like make friends and no one wants to interact. So I'm like, VR is the best way to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Um,
it's really hard to make friends in real life for one
yeah.
thing. It's not easy. And secondly,
Mhm.
like I, I was just talking about this with someone. I mean, there are a bunch of reasons why I think making friends in VR is a lot easier, but one of them is that just the pool of people
Mhm.
close to you IRL is infinitely smaller than the amount of people that you can meet online and in
Yeah.
VR in general. You can meet so many people from around the world.
Mhm.
And I think what you said about traveling, I think that's one of the best parts about VR and almost like underrated in a way is that you can explore. You can go to a world that's based on Japan or a world like on
Yeah.
Hong Kong or whatever, or even like
Mhm.
New York and stuff like that. And you can see like it's not the same as going there, but in some ways it's just as good, if not better, because you can go with your friends and you can
Yeah.
go and meet people in these worlds. And like I've traveled a bit myself, and it's like
Hmm.
unless you have someone at the destination, you don't meet anybody there. Like
Oh yeah,
it's really
100%.
hard.
Yeah, and
Um,
it's like you also to add on to that, it's like when you can do this at your fingertips, it feels at the same time it feels more like you can just be free, run around. You
yeah.
don't have to worry about paying for things. You don't
Mhm.
have to worry about like, oh my gosh, did I forget my luggage? Did I forget my passport? You don't have to worry about that. It's all right
Yeah.
here in front of you. And like, you want to go to, you want to go to the bathroom, just take off your headset and walk over and just do it and
Right.
come back. It's perfect.
Yeah, yeah. It's very safe too, I think is something a common thing. In terms of like you're in your own comfort zone because you are just like in your room or like sitting on your bed or whatever. And
Hmm.
it's like whenever you want to go home, whenever you want to go to bed, yeah, you just take your headset off and go to sleep, or you need a
Yeah.
break. Or you can spend like hours and hours and hours in it if you can, or if you want to.
Hmm.
Um, and in one of the nice things is that like everyone else is also in their comfort zone. So I feel like what you were saying, how a lot of us just feel more free in VR, and just
Yeah.
kind of have our guard down a little bit.
Hmm.
And that makes it so much easier, I think, to connect with people and
Oh yeah.
to like really get to know somebody, because both people in a conversation are more than two, or they all have their guard down, and like it's really nice.
Hmm.
Um, would you say VR has like changed you at all, or at least maybe not changed, but like brought out aspects of your personality that might not have been there before?
A lot of my, well, I can say yes to that is because a lot of my personality is like has been suppressed.
Yeah.
Like if you actually met me in person, or if anyone met me in person, it's like they would see a guy that walks down the street and looks like the tough guy, like of the block or the neighborhood. And like I'm very like I look like I'm about to like rob a store or something. Like I went into
Do
this like
you? You're pretty cute. I don't know.
no, but it's like I went into this like the local grocery store, and then like the manager starts following me around the store, and I'm like, bro, what do you want from me? And I'm like, I'm just trying to buy
Oh.
candy. But
Oh.
um
Yeah.
it's changed a lot because I had times where it was like I just suppressed so much of myself
Yeah.
because people want you to be something. People want you to be this figure. People want you to be this. And the person who really did that was my dad. And
Mm.
I don't and at the same time when he did that, I kind of made myself like, you know what? I don't care. I don't care if he wants me to be this, like get abs, get muscle, get tone. I'm like, dude, I don't care. I'm gonna enjoy my life, live the way I want to eat, eat the things I want to eat, or like, you
Yeah.
know, if I want to work out, I want to work out. If I don't, I don't want to do this. And then,
Yeah.
um, but at the same time, adding to that, VR did bring out something. It brought out more of like the honest me,
Mhm.
because you can't be at the same time, you don't really see people for their facial features and everything in
Mhm.
person. You see them for their personality. And that's
Yeah.
what was really important, was getting the personality like pushed out there.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, that's one of the best parts about VR is that like um, you learn and you get to know people based on their personality, but at the same time you get to choose how you look, and you can choose to look like you know the most beautiful version of
Yeah.
yourself pretty much, which is really nice.
Hmm.
And unfortunately, like you were saying, like as much as I want to say it's 100% personality in real life, sometimes you just,
Hmm.
and mostly other people, judge you based on the way you look.
Yeah.
And like it sucks sometimes, and like it really can limit like how much you get to know people, or like it's just it's not, I don't know, it's just not as genuine as really getting to know somebody truly based on their personality, like in VR, which is really nice.
Hmm. Yeah.
um
100%.
yeah. And it gives you an opportunity also to just like I guess like I have a friend named Walter. He streams and he's an amazing person. He would say that like VR just gives you opportunities and chances to actually practice your social skills and like be in a safe place when you're meeting people. So like for
Yeah,
instance, like I would say my femininity and like my feminine side and like my nurturing side came out a lot
yeah,
more in VR. And for whatever reason in real life, like when that side would come out, like some people maybe thought it was cringe or like I just didn't feel super comfortable being
yeah,
that way in real life for whatever reason. And like I don't know if it was because of the way I looked or maybe I just didn't really have super close friends growing up, but I just feel like VR really gives you a chance to truly explore who you actually are in a safe
yeah,
place. And yeah, and yeah,
yeah. It brings the true self out, and it's like that's the important part. Like the other
yeah,
thing I can add to that is like I never felt more free in VR than being in person.
yeah,
Like obviously, like I do a lot of funny like for me with like my humor and everything else, it's a lot more pushed out in person because like um how do I say it? Like being an extrovert, like it's a lot easier for me to like make people laugh and have a conversation with someone outside. But at the same time, deep down, I'm like, I don't like this. I don't like doing certain things and like acting a certain way because it's like for me in VR now, like every like after I shifted, like I did went from like I'll admit this here for a lot of the things I've done, I did shifted from being a little bit of a wholesome streamer to a little bit of like a like unwholesome a little bit here and there, and I think you
yeah,
noticed that as well.
yeah, yeah,
Um, I shifted that is because the wholesome side was just not exactly me.
right,
And
yeah,
when I was like exploring in VR, I was like, you know what? Who cares? Do what you want, do what you like, and
yeah,
push for that. Achieve those goals. And that's why I did. I was like, you know what? This is who I am. I'm gonna do it. I don't give a shit.
yeah,
I'm just gonna enjoy what I do.
yeah,
And
yeah,
and that's the other thing. I want to be happy. I want everyone to be happy as well. To do the things they love and do the things they want. Not be like, you know, oh, you gotta do this tomorrow and like you gotta act like this and then you gotta put up like a it's like an identity crisis in a way. I don't know if that's the
yeah,
right term to say it. But
yeah.
yeah.
Well, I definitely feel like there's so many pressures in real life that don't exist,
Yeah.
like in VR, when you're streaming and stuff. And I mean, yeah, I mean, I was actually the same way in the beginning. I was super wholesome. Like I never even swore on
Hmm.
my stream, and I try not to swear that much still. But like, I will definitely like talk about lewd things or crack a lewd joke here and
Yeah,
there, and
yeah.
uh, yeah, like who fucking cares? Like it's your stream and it's your content, so you might
Yeah.
as well enjoy yourself and like have fun what you're doing and not feel like you're censoring yourself or limiting yourself.
Oh
Um,
yeah, exactly. That's why like I don't do that anymore. And at the same time, I'm like I do hesitate a little bit doing the unwholesome stuff. I'll admit,
yeah,
because it's not because like I feel uncomfortable doing it. It's because the audience.
right.
How will the audience see this?
Mhm.
And at the same time, I don't um how I say it. I don't want like I also know that there is like when I was wholesome, there is also still a younger audience, and that's why I worry
Yeah,
about.
yeah, yeah.
I don't want the younger audience to see this, and then next thing I was like, oh my God, they think it's normal, they think it's fine. It's you
Yeah,
need to
right.
take your time to grow up, and then you can watch this stuff. It's like that's how I see it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. That I
but yeah,
was I relate to that a lot. It was
mhm,
mostly because I had younger viewers too, and
yeah,
no. Um,
mhm.
are you 18 plus or no?
I am 18 plus.
No, I mean
Everything
like
I
is your stream 18 plus as well?
yeah. Hmm.
Okay, okay, yeah.
Everything is 18 plus. The stream has been tagged as 18 plus,
Yeah.
and even in my rules it says 18 plus content. Be aware that there will be 18 plus stuff here, but like under the like TOS and everything. So like people has a heads up already.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, that's the I had to change that and I had to put that as a rule, like the first rule because it lets people know be aware what you're getting into.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah. So yeah, you
Mhm.
mentioned your Twitch, and I guess I asked people this too. How did you get started streaming and streaming VR,
The
particularly?
do you want me to tell you like the beginning of what I did, or like or you want
Yeah,
me to just tell
sure.
you like the VR's part? Okay.
No, you tell me everything. Yeah.
Okay, so I started streaming way back in 2018.
Okay.
2018 was when I started streaming because I wanted to actually go pro in CS. And I started streaming CS:GO, and I started streaming here and there once in a while. And I couldn't really stream CS is because my computer was really slow, and then it was also like at the time graphics cards couldn't like couldn't like render certain things and couldn't like do this and pump in enough power to the stream. So I said to myself, I'd rather wait until like I'm 18 to do this. So I actually would stream once in a while, like randomly throughout like 2018. Same with 2019. And that's when it was like the time I was like actually in football. So 2019 was actually the year I streamed like twice in a row. But I played because I was an athlete at the time. So I took out that entire year to be an athlete. Um, Around 2020 was that I was getting back into the momentum. I had a computer. Um, and I just started streaming Tarkov. Tarkov was like the first game I wanted to go back into streaming with, is because it's a new game. People like it. I love it. And I was like thinking, hey, I can actually make some content with this and see what I can do and push for it. And I streamed Tarkov for around like 6 months. After 6 months, I didn't see any growth. And
Mm.
when I didn't see any growth, I was like, what am I doing wrong?
Mm-hmm.
And I realized I'm streaming in Tarkov, one of the top games on Twitch, and yeah, like almost millions of people will watch it like every single month, in a way. And I decided, no, this is not the game to play. I cannot play Tarkov. I need to find a different game. And um, that's when I found VRchat, and then that's when I got the Oculus. Is because my friends was pushing me to get the Oculus. I love how it lines up perfectly. It's like when I was streaming, and then now I'm like, yo, I want to do this again. Um, but overall, streaming was meant to really be a outlet for me, as in learning, like learning and teaching others. I love teaching actually.
Mm.
No, not a lot of people know this about me, but I am a huge, like, I love to learn, and I also love to teach and educate people
Mm-hmm.
on anything if I can. If I can educate you on, let's say, like military tactics, I'll teach you about military tactics. If I want to educate you on like CS:GO, how to aim or do something, I'll do that. That's all I wanted to do, was educate people, and that was like the main thing I loved. Um, so that's why I wanted to stream as well.
Yeah.
And that's what I see now. I can do that on stream is because just chatting. I really can talk about anything I want. Well, not everything, but like,
Yeah.
anything that relates to like I can educate people, I can just have a casual conversation. It's
Mm-hmm.
like the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so, what got you interested in VR chat? Was it just, I mean, just the just chatting, and like, I guess there's less quote unquote, I guess, competition or whatever, but it's more just like it's a very what's the word I'm looking for? It's kind of a tight knit group, VR chat. It's not the most
Mhm.
viewed thing, but it's also not the least viewed thing. It's in the top
Yeah.
50 on Twitch, and
Hmm.
I the reason I stream VR is because I love VR, and I used to actually stream Hearthstone like a few years ago, like with the face cam and stuff, and I felt like playing a game like that, even though I was good at it, like it didn't give me much of an opportunity to like show off my personality and like
Hmm.
really get to interact with chat in the same way a just chatting stream would. Was there anything particular that drew you to just streaming VR specifically? Because you mostly stream VR chat now, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, yeah. And do you enjoy it more now?
Uh, well, first start off, yes, I do enjoy VR a lot. Like if I can get into VR, that, how I say it, I don't want to get in VR to really make myself stream. I want to get into VR to just hang out with my friends, like you and
Yeah.
everyone else. But um, But yeah, I do enjoy VR. The one thing I can add to your other question was, you know what really drew me into VR actually? It
Yeah.
was actually because of the models.
Yeah.
It was actually because of the models, because I really saw these models and I was like, man, I really want one. They look so cool, and like
Aw.
it's like everyone's like able to do this, like hand tracking and movement. I'm like, I
Yeah.
want to do that too. And
Yeah.
that's what kind of pushed me to get into VR. And then at the same time, it was, um, I just wanted to start somewhere fresh, and see where it can take me.
Mhm.
And also like meet new people, because I remember like VR was like my first experience in VR was like I had a lot of fun. I met a lot of people running around just being like a meme at the time. But yeah, it was enjoyable. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go back and try this out. If
Yeah.
things don't work out, I'm just gonna still play VR. It's whatever.
Yeah.
Mm.
Um. So I don't know a ton about you, but the things I do know are that you are going to school right now. I don't think you're working, right? You're mostly going
No.
to school and you're doing streaming.
Yeah.
And yeah, what are you going to school for?
Currently I'm going to school for ultrasound actually.
Mhm.
Oh, ultrasound tech. And
Yeah.
it's well, I'm doing like the course, like the, what's the word? It's like the courses before I take
The
the
prerequisites and stuff, yeah.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
It's that before I even get into the course itself, which will begin next year for me.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I go to school. I used to actually have a part-time job taking care of my grandmother, and then
Oh.
like over time that that stopped having, and then technically the only source of income became my streams.
Mhm.
And obviously I don't see streaming as a job. I really don't want to see it as a job either.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, you know, like every single time like I think about like streaming, I think about like trying to have fun and trying to like, make content and grow. And if like, if there's an income that comes in, that's awesome. That's great. But at the same time, I still think to myself, I want to have a stable job. Like
Yeah.
I'm willing to work like a full day of work and go home and stream.
Yeah.
That's what I'm willing to do, because it's proper income, proper this, proper that, and at the same time you get insurance and benefits if,
Right.
I work in the field I work in.
Mhm.
Um, that was like priority, obviously. And then if streaming, like if working becomes like that, and if let's say streaming I blew up out of nowhere, I became like the next biggest streamer or something, maybe
Yeah.
I'll probably put the job like a little bit down. I say, hey, I want to do this part time now, or like I'll see what I do. I still, because you always got to have a plan A and plan B. You can never go in with a plan A and never have a plan B.
Right.
And like for me,
Exactly.
I'm a huge planner. I think about everything before I do it.
Mhm.
And like I have to think, like I learned this and that's the other thing. I learned it at a very young age. Plan before you go into something. If you think it's wrong, don't do it. If you think it's right, try it out. It's not gonna hurt you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But always be aware of like, if you make a mistake, have something that you can fall back to. And that's
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, that's very wise advice. And I think like
Hmm.
as soon as streaming starts feeling like a job, it definitely takes a lot of the fun out of it. You start obsessing about numbers and like sub counts and stuff.
Yeah.
And recently I actually took some time away to make sure that I was okay outside of stream, because it started
Hmm.
to feel a little bit like a job, and that definitely took some of the fun out of it. And I like
Hmm.
w- one of the biggest things about me is that I love my community a lot, and I don't want them to ever feel like they need to donate a single dollar to me.
Yeah.
And I don't want to put that pressure on my community, because it
Hmm.
just I don't know, it just feels like something is less about my content, or something's just less about my interaction with them when it starts becoming about money. And I really don't like that. And I see that in like other streams too, which like some people will go in like be like, I'm gonna be
Yeah.
a full-time streamer right off the bat. I'm like, that's not
That's
how it
like,
works usually. It takes time to grow and to
mhm.
build your audience. And also, like you said, like even if I did blow up or whatever and I would still, and I think it's important to do, it's still good to have a backup and have a plan B, and to have
Yeah.
another thing that you're doing. Um, that being said,
Yeah,
follow your dreams. I mean, if you really want to
yeah.
go for it, go for it. But like, make sure
Follow
you're
your dream.
okay. Make sure
Yeah,
you're
follow your
okay, right?
dreams.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, but like
Um,
always be aware of like, if you do something, be ready to fall back if need to. Like
yeah.
never go out, like never go in
Yeah.
blind. That's how I say it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, do you have any goals? Like, are you planning on making content on other platforms? Like, are you already making content? I know my friend
Um,
Sweepy edits for you, actually.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sweepy edits for me. I currently make a lot of content on YouTube right now. I'm
Mm-hmm.
pumping out content almost the like I'm trying to pump out almost every single day, but
Yeah.
I'm like content like for me on stream is because it's like I talk a lot about like deeper conversations and I'll do some other things. I don't really get to do like the unwholesome stuff. And that's the other thing. People like unwholesome stuff. And
Yeah, they do.
like I enjoy it too. I enjoy it too, I admit it. So like I want to do more of it, but at the same time, it doesn't make any sense to do it on stream when there's no context.
Right.
When there's no
Yeah.
context, you can't make the content. When
Yeah.
there's context for like the unwholesome stuff or anything, it makes it so much easier to like piggyback off that like that chatter or like someone, and it makes it a lot easier for you to like okay, now I can make this into a video or a clip. And that's the other thing, streaming on VR is way harder than streaming on any other game, in my honest opinion, for making
Oh,
content in
huh.
this game is, well, it's not hard like maybe let's say like a really old game. But the reason why is because if you're just chatting content creator, you just chat.
Yeah,
And
right.
if people don't know who you are and they don't know your content and they don't know the context of it, if you put it on YouTube, no one's gonna watch. I kind of learned
Right.
that
That's
because,
true.
yeah, because like I do a lot of testing because I'm still like such a small YouTuber and streamer. I see like, okay, if I do this here, if it doesn't get this many views within this amount of hours, or if it's like the um the click rate is going down, that's because no one knows who you are. Content is like they don't know the context of your content.
Mm-hmm.
So everything has to be done by trends. It's the same thing with TikTok. Everything's done by trends. Like people will watch stuff because it's trending.
Mm-hmm.
People won't watch stuff if they don't know who you are. And that's like, I don't want to be like the like putting down like on a lot of things, like a lot of people who want to do it, but it's more like you just have to work around it and see what you can do to make content. You have to just think.
True. That's true. Yeah, you have to like you can't just play the game and then like have a reaction to it, which is there's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that, but yeah, I get what you're saying. It's all on you. You pretty much have to be super creative and like write your own content.
Hmm.
Um that's actually what I love about it is that you get that it's so free.
Yeah.
But it does make it a bit more difficult than or at least there is you just have to write it and create
Mhm.
yourself. But it's a lot more free though. I mean, you aren't locked into just one thing like if you play Minecraft or whatever. Or if you
Yeah.
play like, so there's pros and cons, I think.
Yeah, it's
Um,
a
yeah,
it's not like you're playing like what's that, Minecraft Hunger Games.
yeah,
You're stuck into the world.
um, yeah. Uh, so like, been playing VR for a while now, and like, um, do you have it? I guess. Hmm. What are your plans right now? I guess you're making content, but like, is there anything else you want to do? Is there stuff you want to do outside of VR? I know you said you actually wanted to go back to like first person shooters and stuff. Like, how's that going? Um,
I wanna Well, it's more like I wanna go. I don't have any plans except for just making content on VR for now.
okay.
But my main biggest like long-term plan or goal is to put myself back into the competitive community as either like an analyst, a coach, or maybe even a player again, because that's where I shine. I notice like I shine in anything that's competitive, and I will put my hardest love and work into it. And like I have the skills and I don't want to waste my skills
Yeah.
because a lot of people say like, "Oh my God, you're born with aim. You're born to do this." And I'm like, "No, I'm not. I played 8 years of competitive shooters to get to the level I'm at, and to like I'm still learning to this day." And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not even like 30, and I'm just like I have to put like there's so much things to learn every single day in shooters, and it's like people don't realize that. People don't realize like, hey, like you doing these things ain't easy, and it's like it takes a
Yeah.
lot of time and energy out of yourself.
Yeah. Professional.
But it,
Yeah, sorry, go
hmm?
ahead. Go ahead. No, go
No, no,
ahead.
no, no, go ahead,
I'll
go
say,
ahead.
yeah, it takes
Oh.
so much time to be a professional gamer to get to a high skill level. People play longer than 8 hours a day. Like, it's insane the
Mhm.
amount of work that you have to put into it.
Yeah,
And
it
yeah.
it was like the one thing that I disliked about being a pro, if I was a pro, would be the grueling more than 8 hours a day of gaming.
Yeah.
Because I could not sit at my desk for 10 to 12 hours to play the same exact game over and over and over.
Mm-hmm.
It does get really like it burns you out. But I can say it gets enjoyable when you are playing with your friends. If you can play with your friends for 12 hours, your mind just goes like it goes away,
Mm-hmm.
and you're focused on having fun with your friends. And that's why I like about gaming with my friends, like the people I'm playing with right now. Um, but if I'm doing it as a job to win money in tournaments, it kind of just makes you feel sick to your stomach in a way for some people like me. You just have to like, you're like, "Oh my God, 12 hours. I gotta force myself to do this." And like I had to put the best every single day. And it will cost like because now being in esports, your job can be replaced quickly. Every single minute you waste can be replaced by
Yeah.
someone else who's better than you. That's the reason why esports is so difficult to be in. While being in, let's say, the NFL, your job can't be replaced. It has to take months, years to find the next NFL player. And that's what I think. It's like esports, so many people can rise to the top but will fall. Because
Yeah.
if they make the mistake they do, they will fall. And it's actually shown proof recently. Like same with like a lot of Valorant players. Like I watched I watched the pro scene for CS at the time, and when Valorant got released, a lot of pro CS players left CS to go into Valorant because they rose to the top, but they fell down
Mm-hmm.
because of like they made this mistake. They couldn't keep up with like the top tier one pros. So they said, "Okay, I'm gonna move to this game because it's a lot easier and I can get that shining light back on me."
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It seems so difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's what I love that Twitch just exists because it allows people who might not be tier one to maybe be able to play a variety of games, but also if you are tier one, it gives you that, I guess, that extra income and that extra publicity
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah, it
Um,
helps you grow, and like it grows your personality and your
yeah,
like who you are
right.
as well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Speaking about Twitch, we talked about this before stream, and you said you talked about this on Kuro's podcast, but
Yeah,
I wasn't
yeah.
there, unfortunately. But I thought it was really interesting that like Twitch recently brought out, I guess, a new like boost train system. So like when you get a hype train,
Hmm.
if you get a certain amount of subs, then it boosts you to the front page. And I guess that used to be a channel point redemption, where if you got like 250,000 channel points
Hmm.
or something, whatever the number was, it put you there. You had some thoughts, and I kind of cut you off before stream, but like, yeah, what do you think about that? And I guess revenue on Twitch in general.
I think so. For the boost train, I think it's like really, really obvious that Twitch just wants money. They don't
Yeah.
really care about their streamers. They just want the money from the streamers and the viewers. And that's what makes it disappointing is because like I see these hype trains. It's like not everyone can get these hype trains. And
Right.
if your community can actually do that, that's wonderful. That's great that your community can push you into like the front page or push you into like a better recommended spot. But that doesn't seem fair to everyone who wants to grow and has the same passions and dreams. It's
Yeah.
because I take my time usually at like 1 a.m. in the middle of the night. I'll go on Twitch and I'll look around a lot of the lower streamers. Like, not, I don't mean to say it like that. My apologies, but I'm trying to say like a lot of people who are new. I look at a lot of the new people. They don't really have anyone to kickstart them, and they start from zero to nothing, and like there's nothing. So how is that fair for these people who, let's say, are in like the 200 viewers that can actually just get that boost train in like less than a second?
Yeah.
While for like a lot of people like are in the ones, the twos, the fives, they can't even get that. And maybe their content is so much better because they're actually putting more of them their true self and they actually are pushing to go somewhere. And you don't like know like everyone has different goals, but at the same time it's like 100% everyone wants to, grow on Twitch. Everyone.
Yeah.
And that's why I see it's like it's kind of unfair,
Hmm.
but it also doesn't seem right because why should viewers push money to make their channel go like it doesn't make any sense with the money. I feel like it's better with channel points is because if you have a certain amount of viewers who take in channel points, like just because from watching, it's so much better because channel point is free. All it is taking more of your time from watching. That's it.
Yeah.
And a lot of lurkers can rack up points like left and right after hours and hours of watching. They don't even need a chat or do anything. So contributing is so much easier for channel points. And I think that's like everyone can do it. That's
Yeah.
what I think is a lot better. It's like instead of using money to grow your favorite streamer, why don't you use channel points to help your streamer grow?
Yeah.
And it's the better way to interact instead of like using money. And to me deep down, I know people who work hard. I grew up like actually I grew up tough with like not having money and I ate out of like canned food and like expired shit everywhere.
Oh.
So knowing people who work hard for their money, I can never take advantage of that. And
Right.
for the people who kind of like push out to just get money and want money, kind of makes me seem like really I don't like that. Like for
Yeah.
me, even to me, like I was thinking maybe I should do a subathon like next couple months. And I said to myself, no, that doesn't seem right because people are actually in need of money right now and there's like better things to use that money for instead of like, for me. So I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll do a charity stream one day. And that's what I want to do. I want to do a charity stream to give back to maybe like a big like not a big like a small like organization that, that funds for something like, for the homeless or for the people who actually need it
Yeah.
instead.
Yeah. Mm. Um. Yeah. Charity is one of some of my favorite streams that I've done in the
Hmm.
past. It just feels very fulfilling. But yeah, like what you were saying, it feels like pay to win almost.
Yeah, it does. It
Which
does
is
feel like pay to
so.
win.
Yeah, and it just sucks that like I mean, in reality, Twitch is a company, and every single company exists for one thing, and that's profit. Like it's
Yep.
just everything is for profit. So unfortunately, they do have to think of things like that. But yeah, it is unfortunate, and I do yeah I do agree. It's so much more engaging with your community when it's channel points because every single person can contribute, and to
Yeah.
me, more important than money is the time that people give to you. Like not everyone can donate, but if they give me their time, that's like the most important thing to me
Oh
because
yeah.
like ultimately time is money, right?
Yeah, it's
So yeah, and so I don't know. I always tell people this, I'm sure you've had people be like, "I'm sorry, I can't donate," or whatever. I'm like, "Please don't ever say that.
yeah.
Just you being here is the most important thing and means so much to me."
Hmm.
Because you're giving me your time, and it's really thoughtful of you. Like not everyone has like $1 million or whatever, or
Yeah,
however much to
exactly.
give you. So yeah,
Yeah, that's why like for me I when I saw people like subbing and donating to me, I was like, "Oh my God, like you guys don't need to do this." Like if I wanted to make money, I'd get my ass out of my room and go get a full-time job
yeah,
and do that. because I ain't afraid to do that. I ain't afraid to, get my hands dirty to actually like have an income and just still stream. I don't mind doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and at the same time, it's more like for the people, it's like I always say this to them. I said I at the end of every stream, almost every stream now, I always say I really appreciate your guys' time. I really appreciate all the lurkers, everyone who's been there, because people like who listen or who just sit there and just watch and don't chat, or people who just sit there all stream for 2 hours and chat with me, that means more to me than anything else because
Yeah.
it it puts a lot because not everyone can do that. Not everyone can actually sit there for 2 hours. Not even me. I can't sit there for 2 hours watching a stream. It's
Right.
it's but it's more like I really appreciate everyone who does that because it's like it means a lot to me.
Mm-hmm.
It means so much more to me than, a dollar bill. A dollar bill
Same.
I can just go make if I wanted to. I can
Yeah.
just go get a job and work.
Yeah.
But people's time is so important, and time is also very like time is money, but here's the other thing. Time is so limited.
Yeah.
Life can be very short, and that's why I think when people spend time in my streams, you're utilizing part of your day to watch me, and you're utilizing so much time and energy to chat with me. It's like I really I it means a lot to say I'm really thankful for that.
Yeah.
And that's why it's like and that's why for anyone who enjoys your content, my content, or anyone's, it's like a huge blessing. It's a huge blessing to all because time is money and time is short. You
Yeah.
utilize time to enjoy what you want to enjoy. And that's why that's why I like about all those people that watch me.
Yeah. Yeah. Um. Yeah, I relate to that. I mean, time is even more important than money. Honestly, it's
Yeah,
because it is so finite, and you never know when you're gonna go, and like
exactly.
at at the end of your life, like and I don't think a single person really cares about how much money they
Yeah.
made. It's more just like the time that they spent with people,
Yeah,
and the
exactly.
memories that they had.
Hmm.
Changing gears just a little bit.
Yeah.
TwitchCon is not coming up, but it's going to be in about 6 months. Are you thinking about going to TwitchCon, or have you? Really, my bigger question is: have you met anyone from VR yet, or I guess online in
Uh,
general from streaming?
I met like my friend that gave me my VR head, like the VR
Mm,
trackers. That's about it. But like
no,
everyone else, I never met any of you guys yet. So I would
yeah,
love to go to San Diego. And at the same time, I'm gonna go.
okay.
I'm gonna like do it. I'm gonna just, suck it up, tell my mom like, "Hey, I'm gonna go," because what's that called? Like
Oh,
my mom doesn't like me to go to places for a while, and she does because she listen, I'll admit I am a mama's boy in a way. Like I stick with my mom everywhere I go.
oh,
Um
that's sweet. Yeah, me
but like
too. I love my mom. Sorry, go ahead.
no, you're good. But like I'm just gonna tell her like, "Hey, I'm gonna go to TwitchCon. It's only gonna be a week. If you wanna, you don't feel you like if you want, you can drive down and you can see where I'm at. It's like,
Yeah,
it's around people who are actually like their security, their safety.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
because I'm the only child, so she does worry about me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
um,
I would love to meet everyone.
are you
I would love
far?
to meet
I
you
mean, you're
as
from
well.
SoCal, right?
Yeah, I'm from SoCal.
Is it
I'm
like
in
super
the
far from you, Sandy? I guess you
no,
don't have to.
it's like 2 hours for me. It's like a
Okay.
2 hour drive, so
Yeah.
it'll be fine. My mom won't let me drive, so I have to get someone else to drive me.
Oh, okay. Aw. Um, were you like okay? This is a random question too, but you
Yeah.
mentioned this, and I was kind of curious. Were you like gonna join the army or something like at one point? And like, what's the deal with
Ah,
that? And why aren't you in the army? Like, yeah, I'm just really curious.
so do you want me to tell you like the reason why I wanted to join
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
okay. So I was technically supposed to be in Army ROTC, which is Reserve Officer Training Corps at
Mhm.
my university. And I I wanted to do it is because I always grew up around military stuff, like with my dad being in the army and
Oh,
my
okay. Yeah.
grandfather being in the military as well.
Oh.
And I looked up to my grandfather the most. Like he's my biggest role model. To everyone else, he's the person I look up to, and I would love to be side by side with him, as in like level of like popularity in a way, because he also was an Olympian as well. So I'm like,
What?
I want to be up there.
Wait, he was an Olympian? What
Yeah,
sport did he do?
he did boxing. He was actually the
What?
first. No, he was the first few Vietnamese Olympians to actually participate. He
That's
actually
so
went.
cool.
He
Yes.
went to the Olympics for his country, right? And it was the
Yeah.
first time Vietnam ever entered the Olympics. Was in 1952.
It was him?
He was
That's
the first
incredible.
few to enter the Olympics and say he was there.
That's incredible.
Hmm. And like and then after like when he left the Olympics, he was a governor in Vietnam for a province. He was like a governor at a province. And then he later got called into active duty because of the war. So they sent him to an officer school, and he became an officer, and he became a tank commander actually. And I actually did some research about him, and he was actually a very highly decorated colonel during the
Mm-hmm.
war.
Wow.
So like his victories over like certain battles and certain key points and objectives really meant a lot. It meant a lot to me because I'm like, I want to live up to that. I want to be like the next, like I want to be like just like him. I want to like, you know, be a commander, lead people into battle, do certain things. But at the same time, I knew that wasn't just all fun and games. I knew that that was it's life or death, and I had that intention. I knew like I was born to do it. I had a feeling like I was born to lead people and do the right things, and that's what got me into the army was because like I can't say I could never say that I'm in the army. That's the other thing. I could never say that. But I did put out my name, fill out paperwork and did a lot of things, but I never signed. So I never want people to think I was a veteran or anything. I don't want that. I don't ever want people to think like that. Um but yeah, I wanted to join because, I wanted to lead and I wanted to mentor and motivate people to actually, be a better soldier or be someone who they can be. Um, what's another thing about it? Actually, here's the other thing. The reasoning why I wanted to be an officer was because my grandpa and my dad,
Yeah.
both officers.
Yeah.
My grandfather was a colonel, my dad was a lieutenant.
Wow.
And for me, if I went into officer school, graduated everything, I would be a lieutenant as well. But my goal would be ending up as a colonel. I would actually like use the military as my career for like the rest of my life. That's what I was about to do. Yeah.
And why didn't you do that again? Like, what?
Why I didn't do it was because I didn't want to pay $4,000 a year to join the military.
Wait, you have to pay $4,000
Yeah.
a year?
Yeah, I had to
Don't
pay
they
four
pay
grand.
you?
No, so to join the program at my university, you had to pay 4 grand to
Yeah.
be in the class. And I said no. Why am I paying $4,000
Yeah.
for what? For a rank on my shoulder to say, "Wow, you just became an officer."
Yeah.
When the baseline officer does not even make more than your average minimum wage currently. Well, actually, they make more than your average. They make like $60,000 a year, but for 4 years you get $60,000. No, I'm not doing that. I would want more. I would want more because I put a lot of time in education, and I would have to cut sleep, lose like time to spend with family and friends because I would be doing training in like the middle of nowhere or something like that for school. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that for 4 grand a year. No, that's a waste of my money. So I never joined. I declined it, but at the same time, um, before I actually did something, and I never told anyone this, but I sat in my room when I saw the bill, 4 grand,
Mm-hmm.
right in my eyes. I saw my bill as like oh my God, I'm gonna go broke.
Oh,
It's like I'm a
yeah.
college student. I don't even make money, and I'm gonna go broke paying $4,000 a year to just join a class.
Yeah.
And I looked at it. I'm like, I can never do this. If I wanted to join the military, you better call Uncle Sam, and you're putting me in a draft. Actually,
Yeah.
I would not do a draft. I would actually join before the draft even happened. That's just me.
Mm.
But yeah, I didn't join because I also I never told anyone this here. I sat in my room and I actually just thought to myself, I'm doing something else on the side, and that's streaming. At the time
Yeah.
was actually when I was getting into VR. And and I had a feeling, I had a gut feeling. I was like, man, something's gonna take off. Something's gonna blow up out of nowhere, and it's gonna rise. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm gonna do VR and do streaming.
Yeah.
And that's what I ended up doing was I ended up just streaming VR, doing the things I love to do, and I was like really happy with it. I
Yeah.
said that was the best decision I ever made, and I can never regret that.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I was like, if I joined the military, I'd probably be so much more stressed because I would have to manage multiple people below me. At the same time, I would have to lose sleep. I love sleep. Everyone loves sleep. Everyone loves sleep.
Yeah.
I'm not losing an inch of sleep to just be earning $60,000 a year. I'll lose
Yeah.
sleep if I'm making $100,000. There's a difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so that's why I was like, I just made that decision. It was like the best thing ever.
Mm.
I was really happy when I did it because I was like, I felt weight off my shoulders because I no longer had to, worry about the money to go to school. I didn't have to worry about transportation, and all I just had to do was just stay at my community college and just keep on grinding, keep on doing the things I can do, and use this time to be with my family, be with my friends, and enjoy my life. Because I don't want to waste my youth.
Yeah.
Wasting this time is like telling me because I wasted it back in high school, actually. I didn't get the chance to play football as much, and I didn't get the chance to do so many things that I wanted to do because I was always at home and I was so afraid to be outside and go outside to do things and try new things. So now I said to myself, if I can try something new, I'm gonna do it. Just do it.
Yeah.
Obviously, if it's safe. That's the one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, do you think you mentioned this? Do you think like being here, a little bit of a different topic, but like, do you
Hmm.
think being in VR has influenced you in your real life or changed you in your real life outside of VR? Talked about it a little bit, but I say that because, a lot of people see VR and they're like, oh, that's like really fake world or whatever. It's like
Hmm.
because you do have to take the headset off, and I acknowledge that. But to me, it's like VR is been incredibly influential in my real life. Like it's influenced me to like take better care of myself, influenced me to maybe like, look a little bit more like my model, to like pursue my dreams really mostly with the
Hmm.
content creation and streaming. It's I've already met a lot of people, not a lot, but I've met some people like IRL. In fact, I moved to a state. I moved to Arkansas. I used to be from NorCal,
Yeah.
and the only people that know me now are people that I've met in VR.
Hmm.
So it's changed my life in that way. Do you think like VR has influenced you at all in your real life? Like, do you think like because okay, this is also like you said that back in the day you used to like get in a bunch of fights or something like,
Oh
and
my
I don't see that at all. Like you're such a sweet guy. Like so. Yeah, are you still getting in a lot of fights? Like, are
no,
you?
no. I left my fighting days to stay back in the past with my high school and middle school years, and I never tell like a lot of people about it because it's a moment that I don't want to relive at all.
Oh,
Because when I was fighting, was fighting mainly for, you know, fighting for my respect. And I grew up
yeah,
learning respect. I grew up you have to earn that shit.
yeah,
And that's why like I don't really talk about it because who wants to hear about a guy boasting about himself, talking about he win fights or he lost fights? Like I don't want that. That's
Yeah.
not me. And at the same time, it's like for the people who been through those like moments in life, you don't want to relive it because you want to change and you want to be a better person. And I
Yeah.
never got in fights because I never started the fight. I always
Yeah.
got in fights because people picked on me and bullied me, and I just had to put them in their
Oh.
place.
Yeah. Right. Um.
But no, I don't fight anymore. But yeah, VR has improved a lot about my lifestyle, as in like, it actually makes I feel like being in VR and you're actually like being active and moving around,
Yeah.
it makes you feel more alive. Like
Yeah. I
I'll tell
agree.
you one thing. I never liked dancing. Actually, I
Mhm.
never liked dancing. No one knows this. And when I got into VR and after like, watching ADC, watching Lulu, watching everyone, right? And they're actually having a blast, putting on music and they're just moving around in VR. I'm like, you know what? I'm enjoying this. And
Yeah.
out of stream now, I actually like try to practice and I talk to a lot of
Oh.
friends who are dancers and they actually like tell me like, okay, what you should do is that you should have a mirror of yourself in your room and you just move around, see how you flow and just feel comfortable and just put on music. And then over like just keep practicing, do this and do that. And they told me like watch certain things and I was like, okay. So now like I'm trying to learn how to dance and I'm like,
Oh, that's cool.
um eventually maybe I could do it in VR, but at the same time that hopefully tracking gets better, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
The tracking.
I mean, there is 10-point tracking right now. I don't know how many dancers use it. A lot of the dancers that I know still
Oh
use
yeah.
the
Hmm.
regular 3 trackers, but yeah, I mean, I totally relate to that. I actually, Kuro's always bugging me, like, when are you gonna start dancing? When are you gonna start
Oh
dancing? And
my
my friend Kanata
God.
too, and Sweetie, and I'm like, I don't know, but I would like to start for sure.
Mhm.
I totally feel that.
Mhm.
um, yeah, so we're an hour in. How are you feeling? You need
I'm
a
feeling
break?
great.
You're feeling great.
Nah, I'm good. I'm good.
You're good. Okay. Yeah. I guess like I didn't have too many more questions. Like, thank you so much for talking so far. Like, it's been
Yeah.
really, really nice getting to know you better.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, it's wonderful, and I actually love having these deep conversations with friends, and
yeah.
it 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 makes you feel more connected instead of like instead of me requesting, "Hey, old girls," walks away, and I feel so bad doing that. I really do feel so
Wait,
bad just
really?
saying hi. No, because for me, because I won't like. It's not because like I. It's not because like you're busy or anything. It's more like we never. Not a lot of people get one-on-one time because like
Yeah.
everyone is busy. Everyone like you're busy, you're working. I'm busy doing like taking care of my mom or like helping around the house or doing something else.
Yeah.
And you never like I never get the chance to like talk to more people one on one like
Oh,
this. And I love it. I love having these conversations.
yeah.
That's why it's like I was like when I messaged you and then you instantly asked me to do the interview, I was like hands down, I cleared everything on my calendar. I said this is the day. Boom. I'm gonna
Oh.
I cleared everything. Um just saying I did stay up for this. I stayed up.
Oh.
I didn't sleep too well because I was actually pretty excited to actually do this.
Oh. That's sweet. Oh. Yeah, I'm really excited to have you on too, cuz yeah,
Hmm.
it is. Like I do want to make time for everybody, but it's just impossible. It's just not realistic to be able to have one-on-one time with every single
Hmm.
person. So that when I do think it's important to schedule that time though when you can to make um it is hard. It's a hard thing to
Yeah.
balance, but it is really nice, like you said.
Oh
Um,
yeah, 100%. It's very difficult.
yeah.
Hmm.
Um,
Is there anything else you want to know about me? Anything that kind of interests you, like
well, yeah.
anything about my competitive past?
Well, I mean, I actually was gonna ask you about like cars and stuff too, because I know
Okay, go for
you're
it.
super into cars. Like, was that from like your dad, or is this something like you just grew up
Uh,
liking by yourself, or like,
well, it started off with my dad because my
yeah,
dad would always make me work on the car, on my grandpa's car. Actually, the fun fact is that we stole my grandfather's car.
What?
Yeah, we stole his car. I was the one that actually took the car because it's really sad because he became like he has dementia and he doesn't remember and
No. And you stole
he
his
got
car.
yeah, we stole his car. We just like casually walked up to the house and said, and we didn't hotwire it. We took out like the starter plug because it was in the
Yeah.
car, and we're telling Grandpa, we're like, "Hey, Grandpa, car doesn't work anymore. Try to fix it." And he's like working on the engine like the whole day. He's like, "Why does no work? Why does car no work?" And
Yeah.
we went back the night and we actually just plugged in the thing, took the key, and just left with the car. And after that, over time, we just started like working on it. And like the meme where it's like the dad is like telling the son to hold the flashlight and hold it at this angle, and he yells at the son. He
No, I
yells
don't
at his
know.
son. You don't know that one?
No.
It's like, son, I need you to hold this light right here. Okay, dad. Son, that's not how you fucking hold the light. Hold the light right here. And then it's like, and that was me. I'm like, I'm doing it right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I also started getting into cars is because my friends started a car club at my high school. And I wanted to be a part of that club, and I wanted to be a part of like the growing atmosphere in the community because they were actually like really they were like they were actually really like happy and open to actually like share information and talk to you about it. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get into cars because it's something different, it's something new, and I have a passion for it because watched uh I watched Fast and Furious and everything, and
Yeah, of
that's why I
course.
was like, it's like cars are so cool, like it's the
Yeah.
biggest hip, and like oh my God, modding cars look so sick to do. And it's like
Yeah.
you're also putting out your creativity. That's what I love about cars is because whatever you make of your car or you design it for like the modding, it's all on your terms and your money.
Yeah.
So it means so much more to you, and it makes you feel more connected to the car because if you get to touch like the like at not touch like not touch up add like cosmetics or spoilers or like any add-ons or mods, you feel more with that car. You feel like
Hmm.
this is actually your car. This is your baby. Like you're taking care of it and you're feeding it and doing everything.
Yeah.
So um that's what I like about cars, and it's unique because every car is different. It's not the same. And you make your car the way you want it. No one can't tell you otherwise. If people say, "Oh, I don't like that spoiler on your car," who cares? It's your car.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, I like that idea, and that's what pushed me into getting into the car community. I'm not fully into the car community because I don't actually mod my car. I can't really mod because I don't have money,
Yeah.
and I don't have a project car. But if I ever had a project car, I would definitely like push into it. Um, I probably would actually start my own car club actually, because I was planning to do that.
Oh,
I was
that'd
planning
be
to do
cool.
that with a few people,
Yeah.
but that would be a while from now until like maybe I hit like 22, 21. Who knows?
Yeah. Well,
Mhm.
um. Do
But
you?
yeah,
Yeah. I was. Oh no. Sorry. I was
no, you're good.
thinking about that world that you went to. Like that car driving world.
Yeah.
Um. I really want to. What is that world called again? It's really nice.
It's called like Udon vehicles or something like
Udon
that.
vehicles. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check that out.
Um, yeah, it's like there's automatics and
Oh,
there's
there's
like manual
stick
cars
too.
too.
Really?
Yeah, there's stick too. Dude, I try to do stick and I'm like in real life I'm like using my feet to actually move. I'm like, wait, it doesn't work that way. Never mind. So
Oh,
I have
do
to
you
use
not
my
put?
control.
You don't use the clutch? I mean, you don't push in the clutch.
No, you
Uh.
don't push on the clutch because it's all connected to your controller.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Yeah.
so like that's why I'm like this doesn't feel right. I had to like rewire my brain to use a controller to actually like shift everything. It was it was like the fun experience to do.
Yeah.
Um, But there's like a model that actually could work with it. Zuby's told me about it where you can actually use there's like add-on to like in Unity where you actually make your model is actually like compatible with the car and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's really cool.
Um. Yeah, I know you have to. You know, are you good on time? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good
Cause
on time. Yeah.
okay, okay. Um, I unfortunately can't go too much longer, but I did have like I guess another some final thoughts. I guess.
Yeah, go for it.
Um, do you? Is there anyone that like I know you mentioned ADC and Lulu, but was I mean your grandfather like? Is there anyone
Hmm.
else who like influences you like right now or like as like a content creator or like as just a person like um I guess like because you know when I grew up I watched like whatever comedians or people like in movies and stuff. Was there anyone like that that you like you looked up to that kind of inspired you to I don't know because
Oh
you're
my. No, go. No, go.
no,
My
just like
my
as a
apologies.
content creator, you know, because like you know, as an I guess quote unquote entertainer or whatever, whether like you know a movie star or on YouTube or on Twitch, I'm just kind of curious about like your creative influences and stuff. Um,
Um, could a movie character
yeah,
be a
anything. It
thing?
could be a fictional
Okay.
character, it could be whatever. Yeah.
My God. Okay. So okay, so pretty much all the people that influence me is like, my grandpa, ADC, Lulu, everyone, all those people are like the real life people that influence me.
Hmm.
The one person that I kind of relate to, and no one really knows this, not because like, oh, because I'm tough or stuff. No, it's actually like mentally relate to is actually Thomas Shelby from Peaky Blinders. And
Oh,
people
okay.
don't really think that I relate to him because I'm so nice and stuff like that. But it's more like when I think of things, there's always a plan. It's also my idea. And in I don't have you ever watched Peaky Blinders
No,
or
but my friend Kitty King just told me they recommended it. I know a lot of people like that show. I have not seen it though, unfortunately. I heard it's good. I heard it's good though. I definitely want to check it out.
Mhm. Yeah, it pretty much speaks about like it talks about a story about like a gang family in Birmingham of like after World War One. I think it was like 1919 or something like that, right
Mhm.
after the war. And it tells the story of, Thomas Shelby and his family and what he's supposed to do, like his day-to-day life and how he kind of like tries to like take his illegal bookmaking business to the top and try to rise into power, into fame, into everything. And like the way how he thinks kind of influences me on the way I think is because I kind of like when I watched it, and this is gonna sound cheesy, but I've actually calmed down a lot from watching
Mhm.
the show. It
Mhm.
it made me push back and see everything is not supposed to be so quick because I'm so young and
Yeah.
I'm like able to move around. Everything is also you need to take things time like one step at a time and
Yeah.
make the right moves. And that's what I try to do is make the right moves at life. Like, I want to go to school. I don't want to make this mistake of not going to school or I want to do that. That's why um for his character it really just makes me feel like man, if he can do that, if he started from nothing, I can start from nothing and go up there. If I have the drive and power and will to do it, I'm gonna keep doing it.
Yeah.
And it's obviously it's gonna hurt. You have to make sacrifices. Just the same, he had to make sacrifices. He has to like lose like his own business. He had to get in fights. He had to do things. But at the end goal, he ended up, he will grow. He would blossom. And I don't want to spoil it for you, so my
Yeah,
apologies.
no, I know it's fine. It's fine.
Hmm.
Um,
But yeah.
yeah, that's very interesting. I definitely have to check out the show.
Hmm.
um, yeah, that's. I mean, like, yeah, I didn't have too much more I wanted to ask you. I guess I've been asking this to people. Is there anything you want to ask me? Which is kind of,
Yeah.
if not, that's okay. But
Oh my God. I'll ask you this. What was for the first time we ever met,
yeah.
what were your thoughts on me when we met? because everyone
Oh,
has like
I
different
mean, I thought
thoughts.
you were just really sweet and like you had rated me at the time, I remember, and you came to visit me in the world, and
Hmm.
um, I don't know. I thought you were just really sweet and like a very hard worker already. I mean, I think you told me that day that you were one of those people that like got like a whole bunch of AP credit and was like already in year two college when you were year one. But I just thought you were very precocious, I mean, like, and very hardworking and very nice. And yeah, I wanted to get to know more about you. Yeah. What do other people say about
Oh my
the?
God, I people say like the first time they met me, they were scared of me.
I didn't get
Like
that
not
at all.
not like no, but not in VR. I'm talking like in real life. People were like really intimidated of me, and like
Really?
some people saw me as like the biggest goofball as well because like
Yeah.
I would go around making. Oh my God, I have a love for cats as well. So like
Oh.
I would like like how Lily would send you memes. I don't know if
She sends me
Lily's
a cat picture
cat,
every
yeah,
single
cat
day
picture.
for the past like 8 months. She's been doing that.
I used to do that actually.
Oh, that's
So
cute.
I have like a folder for cat memes like at the pocket of my phone. I'm like, you know what? You wanna laugh? I got you a meme.
Yeah.
Um, but people like always like thought of me as like, some people in person thought I was like really intimidating, and some people thought I was like really, really sweet and very funny. And then for VR people, like people from VR, people always saw me as like, Kuro actually said on the podcast, he's like, I thought you were just like some innocent Asian kid from like
What?
down the street, and like I didn't know you're like this huge guy getting into fights and stuff. I was like, uh,
Yeah. And you're like a linebacker? Wait, were you a linebacker? I forgot.
I was a lineman, I was a defensive
Defensive
end.
lineman, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I didn't get that just from you either, but when you told me, I was like, oh, wow. That's
yeah. Not a lot of people know because the other thing is like being a defensive lineman for me was actually really tough at the time. It
yeah.
was I got benched my senior year, and that broke me. Now,
Oh,
I'll add to this. You know why I've worked so hard on streaming and I'm pushing so much on like different platforms and doing this?
yeah.
Because I didn't get the chance to to do and shine back in high school. I want to
Yeah.
make the difference now. I want to take that advantage that I have right now and you know, do something that counts and don't waste that. And that's why I stream. That's why I like to stream. It's because like it motivates
Yeah.
me because you know, I feel like my coach at the time, he didn't really care about me. He cared about all his other players and he never cared about me. So I'm like, "You know what? I'm going to make him regret not putting me onto the field." And I did. I at the last couple games, I made like a couple tackles and I stopped the field goal. You know, like a field goal when
You
they
stopped
kick
a
the ball.
field goal? You
I
blocked a
s-
field goal?
I blocked the field
That's
goal with
very
my face
impressive.
mask. I blocked it with
Man,
my
that's
head.
impressive.
So he looked back and he was like, "Man, I should have put this kid more into the field." I was like, "Yeah, I was actually a better player than majority of these kids."
Yeah.
Um, yeah, the last game he benched me for for a junior, and the junior didn't even make a tackle the entire game.
Yeah.
And then he put me in at like last minute. I made two tackles. I'm like, that's what I want. I'm going out
That's true.
with two tackles. I don't care.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. I mean, I'm impressed that you even played, to be honest. I always wish I could play sports, but I never just, it's never really
Yeah.
an athlete.
It was grueling. It
Yeah,
was
I'd
grueling, but
imagine so.
it was enjoyable because it felt like
Yeah.
a family. That's what
Yeah,
VR also feels like. It's like a family.
for
You have all
sure.
your friends here. It's like a second family to you, and I always liked that. I never liked, having just one family.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can't leave your first family, but having a second family with all your friends and, they care about you and love you for who you are, it's like it means a lot. It means a
Yeah.
lot to me.
Yeah, definitely. Um, I mean, I can't wait to meet you at TwitchCon.
Yeah.
Do you like Korean food at all? I don't know. Do you like food at
Oh,
all?
oh, oh, girls, oh, girls. You
I'll take you
when
out to Korean food. I don't know.
when are we getting Korean barbecue, huh? I'm
At
actually
Twitch,
getting Korean bar. I'm
you're
getting
going to
Korean barbecue today.
do.
Yeah, I'm getting
Fuck!
it
I'm
today
so
right now.
jealous. I'm so jealous of you. I might order some Korean barbecue. I haven't had it in fucking forever. That's like one of the things I miss most about
Mhm.
California. They actually have it here, but it's like it's not the
Not the same.
same. It's not
Yeah,
the
it's not the
same.
same.
I also miss. I don't know if you've ever had hot pot, but that's like also. I
Oh,
can't get hot pot here, which sucks. I'm gonna get it like all the time when I go down to TwitchCon.
listen. Come down. You know what? Instead of going to Twitchcon, take a trip. Come down to LA. I'll pick you up. We'll go eat Korean food. Oh,
Yeah.
yo, there's like this taco place. This ice cream taco shop down the street
Ice
from where I
cream
live.
taco shop. What is
Yes,
they?
I need to take you there. That's the best place to eat.
I'd be. Oh, I should take a day or two to go down to LA actually, because
Hmm.
I'm actually going to be there for a week. And
Hmm.
I tell people I don't really care about the con itself. It's just an excuse to go down to like meet people and hang out with
Yeah.
people from VR. So I'll be down there for a week. I might take a day or two and go down to LA.
Hmm.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I don't exactly know what my itinerary is, but I'd love to at least see you for a day. Go down to LA. You know, I've actually
Yeah.
never been to LA as an adult, even though I lived in California for my entire
Oh
life.
my.
Which,
You're. I'll tell you this one thing. LA is terrible too. Just don't live in LA. Don't ever live
right?
in.
That's what people say. Don't live in LA, but it seems like a fun place to visit every now and again.
Oh
Um,
yeah, 100%.
wait, why do you say don't live in LA?
Housing,
Yeah,
gas,
yeah. Oh God,
cars,
yeah.
and
The traffic.
not just traffic. Terrible breathing conditions in the area
Oh
because
right, yeah.
it's like super dense and everyone is like side by side to each other. It's almost becoming like New York, like
Yeah, for
Manhattan and like and all that stuff. So that's like it's also attracting a lot of tourists. So when there's more tourists that comes, it clogs up the whole entire city. And it doesn't feel like I'll tell you this. I know this. If I when I leave LA and I go over to like Texas, I know one thing. I'm gonna like take a deep breath. I'm like, wow, I can smell air for once.
Oh, yeah, that is actually one of the nicest parts. I moved to Arkansas. Like the air quality is just so much,
So much better.
it's so much better. And I mean, I was like, I don't know how bad the fires are now, right now, but like when I was in NorCal, there were days where like you literally
Yeah.
couldn't go outside and everyone there's like a warning like do not go outside.
Yeah,
The air quality is like it's like worse than in like Beijing, China. It's like the
oh
worst
my
air
God.
quality, literally the worst in the
Worse.
world. And I'm like that and like just housing number one and just like it feels like everyone is probably like this in LA, but everyone's like in such a rush and everyone's working so hard. I feel like everyone's so stressed out in California. Like it's not the laid back California that I think our parents had, like in the 60s and 70s, where everyone's like stoned and chill and like just vibing out. It's so stressful to live there because it demands so much of you and yeah, the weather isn't even that great anymore.
Mhm.
Um, so you said you're thinking about moving to Texas? Like, are you thinking
Um,
about moving somewhere other than LA?
if I could move to Texas, I would. But
Interesting.
I can't move to Texas just now because,
I mean, you're in
you know,
school and you're very
s-
young still.
yeah, still in school, very young, don't even have a job.
Yeah.
Second of all, like parents, like wherever my parents go, I go with them.
Yeah.
I don't argue with that and I accept it.
Mm.
I'm not gonna complain. But the only thing is that I complain is like, man, I'm not paying $6 for gas. Like, oh my
Yeah,
God.
I actually was curious. Yeah, it's $6 for gas now in California. Six a
It,
gallon.
if you
And
go to
that's
LA, it's
insane.
$7 actually.
Oh my god, that's insane, dude. That's
It's so
insane.
bad.
Yeah.
But why I decided to choose Texas, not because of housing and because of the cheap costs. It's actually because Texas is in the South, and not a lot of people will like the South for this here. People don't like the South because, there's a lot of government and things, and I don't want to get into that, obviously.
Yeah.
And people don't like it because of that. I like Texas and I like the South for one thing. People are more relaxed. People
Yes. Yeah.
people party more. People want to just have fun and live life.
Yeah.
People don't like people aren't like uptight and be like, "Oh my God, I gotta go work and do this." And like, "Oh
Yeah.
my God." No, people are
Yeah. Yeah.
like wanting to just chill and just like, live their life and enjoy. And that's what I want to do. Because it's
Yeah.
like, I want to live my life and enjoy. I don't want to, oh my God, I don't want to go into an office building, sit there for 3 hours, like not 3 hours, like 10
10
hours
hours. Yeah.
and go home and be like,
Drive through traffic for like 2 hours each way and shit. Yeah.
it's like, oh my God, I can't do that. So that's why Texas was like a big thing for me. And at the same time, um, I actually wanted to own a business.
Mm.
So I would love to start a business in Texas if I could.
Yeah.
And my huge like idea for that is because either I start a business or I kind of invest in land and
Mhm.
own a ranch. Not own a
Oh.
ranch, but just own land.
Mhm.
So I can do whatever I want on it. I can just go get a what's that the quad bikes and just drive
Yeah.
around and just have fun with friends. Like that's what I want to do. I just want to have fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually kind of funny that you said that. Like, I visited my friend in Tennessee. This was a long time ago, like 10 years
Mhm.
ago, and her dad like was like, "Hey, check out these home movies that I made." And it was them literally on those those bikes like driving around and shit. And I was like, "Oh." Yeah, but there is something about it, that's what I was trying to get at. Like life moves slower here. I moved to Arkansas and right next to Texas, and people are just so chill. And I know there is like racism and all that and like prejudice and stuff. But I'm very lucky to
Yeah.
live in an area where there seems to not be much of that. Um, Also, side thing, there is that in California too. Even though people
Yeah.
think there isn't, there definitely is.
I
Um,
Yeah, I actually, if you want me to add to that, I actually
yeah,
live in a very conservative and racist area, actually.
yeah,
And I'm not actually afraid of any of that.
hmm,
Not afraid of any bit of that is because I don't cause problems. If I cause problems, then I should be afraid of people. Like,
yeah,
you don't cause problems and you mind your own business. People ain't gonna pick on you. And if people say whatever they say to you, cool. Like people
yeah,
like that's why like I don't get offended easily of certain things and I don't get angry if people say certain words to me. It's like cool, okay. Like you
yeah,
have your own problems. I can't change myself. Deal
yeah.
with it. And it's because I live near the beach. That's the most actual racist area is the beach.
Wow, really?
Yeah. And
Racist against like Asian people and everyone, or like,
Asians, African Americans,
yeah,
even their own kind, Caucasians, they were racist to their own people at the same time. They were like I went down to the beach the other day and some guy was like saying words to another person who was the same color of him, and I'm like, this is not new to me, but I'm like, man, people don't really give a shit.
yeah. There
Um,
is. Sorry, go ahead.
no. I
I
was
was gonna
like,
say yes. I was gonna say there is something to like Southern hospitality that I really love.
yeah,
Like my best friend lives here. Her name's Atwal, and she it just makes you feel like you're at home when you're here. Like there's something when you're in the South. People open up their home to you, and it's like that is not the case in California at
yeah.
all. I don't know
It,
any of my neighbors. Like it's like we're enemies almost. It's like I don't know anybody.
it's like this one neighborhood. It's a different gang, and this is a different
Yeah,
gang.
exactly. It's like
It's like the Bloods and the Crips fighting against each other. That's oh my God. That's why I don't want to be in Cali anymore. It's because I don't want to live the life where I have to worry about my house every single day, where
yeah,
someone's gonna be an asshole to me. I'd rather live in the middle of nowhere and know only 12 people in my town,
yeah,
but everyone loves you and everyone is like, if you needed something, you knock on their door and they say, hey, come on in, I got food for you, like, or something like that.
yeah,
Like that
yeah.
means more. That's like it feels like you're actually part of a community.
Right. Yeah.
This where I'm at, this ain't a community.
Yeah.
This is like a war zone for me. This I feel like I'm always in a battle every single day.
Yeah.
That's that's how I feel.
Yeah. I know that feeling. That's why I got out of there. I wish I did it earlier, but I mean, obviously, my family lives there, and it was really hard to leave them. And I know my mom misses me a lot. That's the number one reason I didn't leave. But
Hmm.
also, there's just like I don't know. I feel like for whatever reason, I grew up thinking like it's like, oh, California's so great. Like, why would you want to move anywhere else? California, it just had this. I don't know. People just held it like it's like New York. It's like, oh, you got to
Yeah,
that's where everything is, but it's not true at all. And I can see why. Like so many people in like the middle states, mid US or in the South, like just hate like coastal elites and stuff because they just act like they're better than everyone else, and
yeah.
it's like not true at all.
Mhm.
Um, uh, yeah, if you can move, I'd recommend it. I mean, you're still so young, but it's yeah. Uh, what kind of business
Yeah.
did you want to open up? I know you said you want to do a ranch, but like, what kind of if you open a business, what would you wanna do?
A sports bar.
Cool. Yeah, like so a restaurant, like a sports bar. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, it's like not a restaurant, but fully like a sports bar because it's
Would you have
like
food, or
oh yeah,
just
100% I would have
okay?
food. Like
Yeah,
Buffalo Wild Wings, that's what I was trying to think of
yeah,
doing.
yeah.
But like
Those are pog. I love going to sports bars actually.
the reason why I wanted to do it is because it when you're in Texas, everyone drinks. 100% everyone's gonna drink in Texas.
Yeah,
And it's like you put it in like the best place like Austin, Texas right now is like the party city.
yeah,
Oh my God, you're gonna get like college students, young adults, and like people love sports. They're gonna come, and
yeah,
Texas is a huge state for sports. I know that
for
for a
sure.
fact.
Yeah, they
So
love their
like
sports.
they love their American football.
Yeah, for sure.
But I wanted to do that. But at the same time, I was also thinking my friend, my best friend, who's actually one of my mods, me and her actually were thinking if we ever did that, why don't we do a combo? The first morning, like morning to lunch, is a cafe at the other half. And
Mm,
at night, like lunchtime to nighttime is the bar. The bar is
yeah,
open. And that's why I
it's a
was
good
thinking,
idea.
why not do that? Because and then at the same time my friend started adding in, she's like, "Hey, I love cats. I love cats with you. Let's make a cat cafe." I was like, "No, we're not doing
No,
a cat
that I don't think
cafe."
that would work in
No.
Texas anyway. That's really cute though. Aw,
But yeah,
that's cute.
I was thinking doing that, but at the same time, oh my God, I did some research on like buying equipment and buying bars and getting a license and shit was
Oh
like the
yeah, there's
most
a lot
like
of
it's a mess.
yeah,
Like there's so many things you gotta do,
yeah.
and like just getting like the equipment to like put the beer on tap or putting like anything, $20,000 you have to throw out
Yeah, yeah. My
for just that.
I know.
It's
My parents owned my I grew up working in a restaurant. Like my parents owned a
Mhm.
restaurant for, the majority of my life, and it is a lot of work and it's a lot of operating expense.
Oh
It's
yeah,
a lot
100%.
and you got to be ready to take a loss in the first year or two,
Hmm.
and yeah, it's rough. But if you do, remember, and I think you have a very good mind for business. I know you told me you would like hustle ramen and soda and stuff in high
Yeah,
school.
you want ramen?
You want some ramen? I got you. But I think I think you have a good, I think you have a good mind for business and a good eye for business because you already know like location is everything. Location is the
Oh
number
yeah,
one thing for a restaurant or for a bar or anything like that. So
exactly.
yeah.
But
Um.
that's also adding to like why I relate to Thomas Shelby because he is also a business person.
Mhm.
He's a huge business person, and that's why like it relates to me. I always liked business because I actually took business for 3 years in high school,
Mhm.
and I learned a lot. I learned like you can do certain things under the radar, but you're gonna get caught, so don't do these certain things. And it was very useful knowledge to me because it made me think in another way of how do I capture an audience.
Yeah.
And that's why I use business skills in streaming as well. It's not to like make money, but it's more like what do people like and what do people enjoy? So if people come to enjoy your content, obviously you're gonna have your content. You gotta do that. So that's why I kind of utilize like streaming is in a way like a business. You have to if you wanna grow, you have to think of it like a business sometimes. And it's not what I want to say, but it is the truth.
Yeah. It's the
But you
truth.
can also
Yeah.
make it fun. You can also
Yeah.
make it fun if you want to. It's the everyone has different goals and different ideas, and that's how I think of streaming. It's like a business in a way.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I mean, you can still have fun. You know, you don't have to take yourself too seriously, but
Yeah,
you should have like a plan, and you should, sort of be cognizant or be aware of like, okay, what's working, what's not working, and like,
exactly.
yeah,
Hmm.
have like a plan A and a plan B. Like, okay, this isn't working. I'll try this, and yeah, it's and also, business is all about people too, right? So like, you definitely have to treat people well when they come to your stream.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's like I actually learned about customer service is because my mom does she does nails for a
Mm-hmm.
living.
Yeah.
And I used to go to work with her all the time, and
Oh.
I would see how she communicates with her customers and how she treated them is actually almost how I treat my viewers. Is in the same way how she treats her customers is very open, very friendly, and
Oh.
that's not putting up an act. That's who I am.
Yeah.
I'm really open
Yeah.
and nice. Um, but like for me, it's like I always want like well, I actually I went into streaming like when I first got in. I wanted to make everyone happy, even the people who hated me. I wanted to just give them the attention and care and like just be super open and nice. But I learned one thing: you can't appeal to everyone. So
Yeah.
people come and go. You can't appeal to everyone. So I understood that. I was like, you know what? Still do the things I want to do. If people leave, people leave. If people like my content, they'll stay. It's the truth. So that's why I was like I took the skills that my mom used was because, she's talking, she's very open, she tells like stories and like she just wants to make friends and that's how she gets clients coming back to her say, "Hey, I remember her. I want her. I don't want this one. I want her. I
Yeah.
want to talk to her." So that's why I was like I want to do the same. And
Yeah.
that's why my mom says like she sees a lot in me that
Oh.
I relate so much to my mom more than my dad. Oh my God. My
Same, but yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say like I definitely am closer with my mom, but then like there are things that I got from my dad that I appreciate. Like he was a very social person, and he,
Mhm.
was very charming and very funny. But he was like a huge dick, pretty much. Like,
That's
funny.
me.
Yeah. My mom's just like an angel. She's like the sweetest person in the world.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'm super close with my mom. Like sometimes I actually think, and this was like one last question I was gonna ask you.
Yeah.
Um, I sometimes I wonder if I would have streamed VR if my dad actually passed away a few years ago,
I'm
and
really sorry.
oh, that's okay. It was his time. Um, and that's a whole another story. But
Mhm.
yeah. Thank you though. But I don't know if I would have been as comfortable sharing this side of myself if my dad were still alive. And I remember the first time my mom came into my stream, I like had a panic attack. Because I didn't know how she would react to seeing me kind of as like and I've always been pretty feminine in my real
Mhm.
life. Like I've always been pretty androgynous person, and like, but I was just so scared. I didn't know. But deep down, I know that she cared about me and she just wanted to see what I was up to. I guess my question is like, do your parents know about your stream and like, do they know about VR? Do they know what you do?
Hell no.
Hell no. Okay.
Hell no.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I don't think I would ever
Never tell
I
them.
don't think I would. Oh, my mom knows I stream, but she doesn't know what I stream.
Yeah.
She knows I just plays video games, and that's like I said. Oh, I play video games. I make money on it, so I'm like, it works.
Yeah, fair enough.
I
Yeah.
don't really tell her exactly like what goes on because she wouldn't understand it.
Yeah.
But like I did tell her like I did show her about VR. Like I showed her like the worlds, and I want to actually like when my mom's knees heals up, I want to actually put her into VR
Oh.
and make her go around these worlds and see like, oh my God, like it's so cool and it's so different instead of like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
um but to relate to you on that, I actually so my dad, he doesn't live with me anymore since family is divorced.
Okay.
I My dad could never see me like this.
Yeah.
And he would probably be pissed off and I could give two shits.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like for me, like he knew he actually my dad supports me a lot more in gaming than my mom did because
Oh, huh.
my mom was more of like a realistic person. She,
Yeah.
you know, job, life, everything, family.
Yeah.
My dad, he's like, if you could do it, fucking go for it. And that's why I really appreciate about my dad because he really
Yeah.
pushed me, and that's how I became a competitive gamer and how I actually like improved and actually wanted to do good. But I don't think my dad would, I don't think he would even enjoy this content because he'd probably see me, he'd be like, "Oh, my son's stupid doing this." It's like, but I'm like, I don't care. He doesn't make my decisions, and I'm not gonna let him influence me and make me feel
Yeah.
upset because it's like,
Yeah.
he doesn't live my life,
Yeah.
and
Very
he has
true.
other things to worry about.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah. At the
sorry if
end.
it got so deep.
No, no, I asked, and that's why I asked because I think it's very interesting how people's families view their content and if they share it with their family. A lot of the people are saying like, oh, "Fuck no, I do not." I am just like, interestingly enough, like a lot of my Asian friends are like, "No, my parents can never see my content or see what I'm up to." Like my friend Artificial Cutie, and I think my friends like from like Asia straight up are. I don't know why I brought that up, but I think that's interesting. They're like, no, my parents can't see me like this. They would it's more like you're just being scared of being like judged or whatever. Not scared, but just knowing they will be will be judged.
Yeah, it's
Um,
not really scared for me as it's not. I wouldn't say scared for me, but I'd say like oh my God, do you have time for this really one thing
yeah,
I can
yeah,
say?
yeah, yeah.
Because I don't want to take up your time. I
No, you're
really
good. You're
apologize.
good. No, no, no. Don't put. No, no. I'm. Oh, sweetie. No, no, no. I'm here for you. This is why I'm here. I'm here for you. Yeah.
I don't really tell people this, but I'm gonna share this to all the people who's gonna watch this are my viewers most likely, and yours. But every single time I get out of VR, I do feel a little bit ashamed.
Really?
I really do because it's like, because my parents don't see me as like, I don't know if they can hear me. I think they can hear me right now, and I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
It's more like when I'm like streaming and I'm like kind of like doing like the moon memes and stuff like that. I don't know if I don't know how like I feel like my mom is like thinking, what the she's like she probably thinks in her mind, what the fuck is he doing in this room? Um, but like
Yeah.
she's heard me say words. She heard me say like swear like off the top of my lungs in the house before. But like she, I feel like a little bit ashamed because how much of the things I suppressed and how much of like I
Yeah.
told you like outside, I'm like I walk around like this tough guy, right?
Yeah.
In VR when I come out, I'm like I feel like ashamed because it feels cringy. It feels really cringy to do any of this. It feels cringy to like because I never dance, I never do this. I'm like, man, it
Yeah.
feels really cringy to start doing this on stream and like I don't want to feel I don't want to feel like that ever. But it's
Yeah.
been happening recently, and that's why like yesterday it was really more of like a mind game for me. It's not like because I'm not. It's not like I'm stressed or anything. It's more like it feels odd. It feels different because I never done this. I never do this
Yeah.
ever, and it's something new. So obviously something new is gonna take time to get used to and get comfortable. But yeah, it did feel it make me did like I like sometimes like after stream like I don't eat until like after I finish streaming because I stream at 5
Mhm.
at my time. I sometimes actually never leave my room because of that reason, because I do feel ashamed a little bit.
Really?
And I
Wow.
don't leave my room and I don't even eat. I just sit there at my computer and I work on like homework or I'll do something and I'll
Yeah.
go to bed and I'll go up the next day and then like I'll like oh it's gone. That's how
Yeah.
I just do
That's
it.
very
That's why like
interesting.
yeah.
I know that. I actually know that feeling though, and I think for me it was just like, I had roommates. I guess the last three roommates I had, all. Yeah, I shared VR with them, but they didn't really completely get it, and I just felt this disconnect between them. Like they would hear
Yeah.
me just yelling in my room, and like just I almost feel like they were looking down on me. I don't think they actually were, but I guess got a feeling that they thought it was kind of weird and like yeah, I did feel like kind of ashamed. But at the same time, like that feeling is not as big as the feeling of just how happy I am in VR at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's weird to feel both at the same time, where I'm
Hey,
like really enjoying myself and I love talking with you, but then I'm like, oh, can my neighbors hear me talking about like this lewd thing or whatever? And like I'm like, oh, that's kind of embarrassing, but
yeah, exactly. At the
yeah,
same time, I'm like, I'm young. I'm like 19 years old, but I'm like,
true.
I'm not afraid. I'm not like doing anything bad. I'm not. Oh my God.
No.
I'm not ERPing or anything like that.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. So I'm like, hey, I'm
Yeah.
just chilling. I'm just chatting. I'm just making a conversation. That's different. Like I'm on the safe side of VR. It's like I'm not in the dark side.
The
Don't
dark side.
worry.
Yeah. I mean, you're getting there. I'm just,
No, I'm not.
I'm just, I
No.
mean, I copped on your stream. ADC was like, yo, where's the moon? And you're like, oh, the
Okay.
moon.
Okay. Me doing that was for ADC, and I am proud of doing that.
That was
I
very
was.
funny.
Oh
It's
my
That's
God.
different than like hanging around in the shader and like doing it with everyone
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah. I'm just teasing,
Yeah.
but yeah. Um,
But yeah,
yeah.
that's how I've been feeling for like the past couple weeks, and
Yeah.
it's
I'm
off and
sorry.
on, and I don't like that. I really don't.
Yeah.
I don't think my parents really care
Yeah.
because I'm not harming anyone. I'm not doing anything bad, and at the same time, I'm like I'm having fun. I don't think my parents would give a shit if I'm having fun.
Yeah.
And mainly like all the things I do, I'm not even showing my face. So it's like I told my mom like, "Oh, I actually don't show my face on stream." She's like, "Oh, okay, so that's actually even better." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't even
Yeah.
people don't even know what I look like."
Yeah.
Which I'm actually
I mean, I know what you look
uh,
like.
yeah, but like
No, I'm just that's
like
different though. Yeah.
yeah, but like at the same time like I don't think I would care if someone knew what I look like.
Yeah.
I don't really care because I'm like, you know, eventually I'll actually go back. Eventually, I do want to go back into like IRL streaming again because
Mhm.
I want to like because I'll do VR and then I'll go back to IRL streaming here and there for like desktop instead. Um, because to me, I feel more alive being able to express myself on camera instead of expressing myself through a model as
Yeah.
a like a VTuber model, not this model. This model is
Yeah.
like I can do whatever I want.
Yeah. Yeah.
The sitting still models,
I
nah,
know
I
what you
can't
I
do
know what you
that.
mean. Yeah, it's a lot
Yeah.
more limited compared to being in VR. And I
Mhm.
actually also want to, I actually do want to do IRL streaming eventually. And I
Really?
didn't, yeah, I didn't like it at first, but now that I have like a community and I have friends, like I wouldn't do it all the time, just here and
Yeah.
there. It's like a special thing. But I was actually planning around TwitchCon to either before or after, because I'm like I'm gonna be meeting everyone anyway. And around then it's gonna be like my 2 year anniversary for streaming, so it's like
Hmm.
I might do one IRL stream and see how it
Yeah.
goes and see how I feel, because I also feel like as much as I love being a VTuber, I feel like it both helps me and hinders me at the same time. Like I feel like the VTuber community is it can be. I mean, this is a whole different subject, but I feel like, I mean, I grew as a VTuber. Like this is how I made my community and like how I grew
Hmm.
my stream. But at the same time, it's such a small percentage of Twitch. Like I forget because I only hang out with other VTubers and VRchat
Yeah.
content creators. But it's like we are such a minority in like
Yeah,
all of Twitch.
exactly.
So I feel like,
Hmm.
am I limiting myself just doing VTubing? I don't know. I don't know. And also just meeting people IRL recently. I was so nervous the first time I met my friend Etzwell here. Like I was kind of ducking her for like a week or two after I moved here because I was so nervous.
Uh,
But as I get over that, I'm like, I want to get to know people. And like, I guess the main point I'm trying to make is what I was talking about before, is bringing my VR life and my content creation life into my real life and kind of
hmm.
incorporating both and not having them be so separate. So like I feel like showing myself on cam would be a way to, make it more real, I guess, whatever
Yeah.
that means.
Oh yeah,
Um,
100%. And
yeah.
I think you're not. I wouldn't say you're limiting yourself at all because you're doing great. You're like it's more like it's just I feel like it's not just I don't think it's like um you have to show your face to like do something. It's more like
Yeah.
you just have to find different ways to push content outside of
Yeah.
stream.
True.
And
That's
and
very important. Yeah.
that's the one thing that will get people, because
Mhm.
algorithm on Twitch sucks. Oh my
Yeah.
God. And then like here, if I want to put something on YouTube, that thing can get pushed out. Millions and millions of people can see it, and next thing you know, they're
Right.
like, boom, everyone knows who you are, or something like that.
Mhm.
It's all depends on where you're capturing your audience, and
True. Yeah.
that's the same thing. That's another thing why I say streaming is also, that looks like a business, or in a way is a business, is
Yeah.
because the audience you capture is just the same thing like if you capture your business. Like if I
Mhm.
want to make a bar, I'm capturing to people 21 and above.
Mhm.
Streaming, 18 and above, see? And
Yeah.
then you're also having a demographic of certain audience you want, like male, female, like everyone
Mhm.
else, like non-binary. It's like who you choose will watch your content, and what you
Yeah.
make those people will come to watch your content.
Mhm. Yeah. That's really important to think about, I think. And I actually forget about that all the time
Yeah.
is to really think about your demographic and to think about who the people you're appealing to
Oh yeah,
are. I
exactly.
remember like in the beginning, you know, like I don't know if you ever felt this way, but like now I'll just ban anyone like right away if I know they're gonna be toxic. Like I don't
Hmm.
give a fuck. Like they're gone immediately as soon as I send something off. But like before, I would be like, oh, maybe I'll just let this person hang around because I was kind of like desperate in a way for people to stick around my channel and to talk to, and I'm like so I just wanted to cater to everybody. But like you're saying, like you can't please everyone. You know
Yeah.
you can only please so many people, and that's actually a blessing in disguise because then like once you find your audience, then you can connect with them, and it's like a family that you're developing. And
Yeah, and that's also like the other thing is like I'm actually like, since I did move from wholesome to unwholesome in a way, I had to really change a lot and actually build back my community, which is actually currently happening, which is I'm creating a completely different, like rebuilding my community and rebranding myself.
yeah,
And it's a lot of work again.
right,
But at the same time, at the end of that path is going to be great success of life and
yeah,
friends and family that you're going to meet.
yeah,
And that's what I see with like my community. My community is actually like really like, oh my God, it's still so wholesome on my Discord. If you go in my
yeah,
Discord, my general chat is like, it's so cute still. And I'm like
yeah,
over here, I'm like, hey, you guys want to see them?
yeah, right. I know. I feel that 100%. A lot of
Mhm.
people in my Discord don't even really watch my stream, and they're just like there to be very wholesome and sweet. Like everyone's just like, "You're so cute, you're
Yeah.
cute." I'm like, "Oh man, they're so sweet." Um, I guess one thing you just said is like, I feel like don't be afraid to take risks in a way and to like to rebuild your community if you want to like if you yourself want to do different content or like show different sides of your personality. Don't be afraid to do that. And I feel like, as a streamer, people are so obsessed with their numbers, me included, and I hate it. And I
Hmm.
actually stopped looking at numbers, which has been such a blessing. Um, but I guess what I'm saying is like, it's not gonna be a straight line all the way through.
Yeah.
There's gonna be times when you grow, and there's gonna be times when you dip.
When you dip, yeah.
But if you have that end goal in sight, and if you have your goals in mind, then yeah, like what you said, the end result is gonna be you're gonna be successful. At least you're gonna be on your way to getting towards your goals. Um, but
Oh yeah.
yeah, you
Mhm.
know, sorry, what were you saying?
No, I was gonna say I agree with you on that. It's like everything is a bumpy ride, and it's a whole entire, it's gonna be a mess. It's gonna be a mess.
Yeah,
You're gonna make sacrifices for certain things, but at the same time, you have to plan everything. You can't just go in and be like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna stream today."
yeah,
What are you gonna do? What do you want to do? And do you have to make content in mind? That's actually what I always have to think. It's like, okay, do I have to make content today? If I don't, I can just do whatever I want. I can do a React stream or do something that is like marbles, because marbles you can't make content on marbles. You could, but it's a lot harder. And from what I see, I don't know if you can.
Not very that
but
good.
yeah, not really good. Like who the hell is gonna watch marbles?
Who's searching marbles content on YouTube?
You know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that when
Do
I go to
marbles
Korean
con-
barbecue. I'm gonna Google on YouTube marbles on stream. Who's trying to watch a marbles on stream compilation? But
Marbles does
yeah,
so well though, that being said.
yeah,
Like,
because well, it's an
right.
interactive game with your viewers, and
Yeah.
oh my god, I need to do more of it too. But
Yeah, I streamed so
it
much marbles for a while. It's quite fun. Um,
but it's really cool to see like when marbles happens. It's like eh, your 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 viewers are there to interact with you, and that's like what I like is
yeah.
interaction.
Yeah.
Oh my, like I cannot, I don't know, I just don't feel comfortable being I don't feel comfortable sitting there and talking to myself, but I know there's a chat and I have to read it. I don't want to like leave someone hanging for like less than a minute. I, that's why like if you notice like if you come into my streams recently, I jump from chat to chat so fast and people get lost in the topics that I talk about. And I
Yeah.
just need to I had to pull that back so many times. I said I apologize and we're going on so fast,
Mhm.
but let's talk about this one topic and then we'll move on to the next.
Yeah.
And it reassures people, but that's why I worry so much is because I don't want to leave someone hanging. I don't want to like I see
Yeah.
someone said, "Oh, hello." I don't want to be like talking about this whole thing and then miss their hello and then
Yeah.
they just sit
Right.
there and be like, "I'm waiting."
Yeah. Yeah, I
So I'm
hate
like,
that.
so that's why I try to say hello immediately right there. I'm like, I see your name. Oh, hello, and then like I'll go back into conversation,
Mm-hmm.
which is very important to me because I viewer interaction and me giving you your attention. I like that because you're giving me your attention as well by watching me and spending time with me. So
Yeah.
I want to give my attention to you as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel the same way. Like, yeah, you were so nice. You're nice enough to stop by. Like, I want to be, at least give you the basic respect of saying hi, right?
Yeah,
Right
yeah.
back. Um, yeah.
Hmm.
Um, what are you getting at Korean barbecue? What do you usually get?
Oh my god, I'm gonna get beef bulgogi.
Hell yeah,
I'm gonna
so
get
good.
brisket. Brisket's like the thinly sliced brisket,
Oh, that sounds so good.
and then I'm looking for corn cheese, even though I'm
Oh, dude,
lactose
I've
intolerant.
never had that, but my friends tell me it's so good. This corn cheese, I need to try it. I heard
It's,
it's hella good.
you know how they give you like I think it's like refrigerated, but they get like the cheese and the corn from the refrigerator and they give it to you. They put it on the grill and you just
Yeah.
let it there and melt, and it
Oh,
will
that sounds
melt, and
so
then
good. God,
you
make
take
me
your
getting so
chopsticks.
hungry. Fuck,
I'm
that
sorry.
sounds. No, no, you're good. You're good. It just sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. I usually get galbi, but it's a little expensive, the short ribs. So I go like bulgogi or.
No, 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 no. You gotta go to the all you can eat Korean. See, that's why
Yeah, I should. There
come
isn't a
down to
lot of that in
LA.
NorCal. There's a shit ton of that in Cyberside. There's a lot of that in SoCal. Like that's just
Yeah.
yeah. All right, I will. I'll definitely. Well, well, there might be some in San Diego. I don't know. Probably a ton more in LA. That's
Ton
where a
more
lot
in
of
LA,
Koreans are,
but
but
ton
yeah.
more in LA, but there's like a few in San Diego. I think I can find a restaurant down in San Diego for that. Cheap
Yeah.
price, not too expensive.
Yeah, I'd love to. We should yeah. Oh man, I can't wait. Um so I think
Hmm.
we've been talking for 2 hours now. That
Yeah.
was my goal, really. So thank
Yeah,
you. Thank you so much for
of
being
course.
on here. It was lovely. I'd love to have you on again sometime. Um
And thank you so much for having me here. I really
yeah.
appreciate
Yeah,
I
of
really
course.
appreciate you asking me last time because I was like when I messaged you, I was like I wanted to be on actually the interviews,
Oh,
but I was really nervous to message you about that because I feel like it's not right to ask for those.
yeah.
I rather wait and like have you ask me to like, hey, do you want to be a part of this interview instead? And that's why
Oh.
because I never get the chance to do any of these, and
Mm,
I never get the chance to talk about like this one on one and have someone actually get to watch it later on
yeah.
because it'll mean a lot to me because that's that's the only reason why I really appreciate being here. I
Yeah,
really appreciate like you taking your time out and also
of course. It's
having
my
the
pleasure.
conversation. Yeah.
I yeah, one of the things that I love about it is that like we have this conversation and like it's gonna be there and it's gonna be on YouTube like a year down the line or 2 years down the line. You can sort of see where you're
I'm gonna
at
look
too.
back.
You're gonna look
No.
back and be like, oh no, I suck, or like, hey, this is where I was at then, and like that's great. Or like also just but for me anyway, it's not even really about that. I just like getting to know my friends and especially my
Hmm.
other content creator friends because I feel like we all have similar goals in mind and similar dreams, at least in terms of growing
Hmm.
and connecting with our audience and putting ourselves out there. And I feel like we're all so busy with our own stream and our own communities in our lives that like we don't get a chance to just have a
We don't get.
one-on-one conversation, like a
Yeah. We don't.
truly like relaxed intimate
Yeah.
conversation. So
It's like that's the reason why I want the bar. I want to do a bar because
yeah,
it's the atmosphere of like you're there to relax and hang and just
yeah,
talk to people.
mm-hmm,
That's why I like that. I really love that.
yeah. I think you can do it.
Yeah.
You'd be a great bar owner, honestly, because you're such a friendly, and that's why I had you on. Is because you're such a friendly person, and like I think I always get such a chill vibe. I honestly mean that. I wouldn't have you on
Hmm.
if I didn't if I didn't like you a lot and respect you a lot. Like I think you have such a chill vibe and a very positive mindset and a very not just positive but also realistic in a way. And I guess you get that from your mom, is what you said. But like,
I I get
uh,
I get that from my mom because it's like she's I think like there's a bit of philosophy that goes around in my family because
yeah,
it's tradition,
sure,
but
yeah,
but at the same time like yeah I really appreciate everything and I
yeah,
want to give off those chill vibes because that's who I am.
yeah.
I just want to hang out and just have fun. I don't want to cause problems and do this because I almost broke my headset. Nice. But um but yeah, I try to do my best to, motivate people, be positive and also like inspire people. That's the one thing I want to do is inspire
Yeah,
someone.
yeah. I
And I'm happy. I'm happy
yeah,
to even do that with anyone.
yeah. I that's so relatable. Like
Hmm.
I never got an opportunity to do that. And I never really thought of
Hmm.
myself as a very inspiring person, but like I'll get messages
Yeah.
who tell me like, "Oh, I just, thank you for doing this stream. It really helped me out." Or like, I'm
Hmm.
inspired by what you do. I'm like, "Oh my God." That's like the best feeling in the world is when someone says that to you and it's just that you made their day a little bit better.
Hmm.
It's really fulfilling. Um,
It's just it puts a smile on your face and it just makes you like
yeah.
it makes you feel good.
Yeah.
It makes you feel good and like you're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
You're not doing the wrong thing. You're doing the right thing.
Yeah. Definitely inspires me to keep going for sure in those terms because like there are times when I am filled with self-doubt and I'm just like not all the time anymore, but like it's just nice to get those messages and be like, okay, yeah, I'm on the right path and I'm doing something that I enjoy and
Oh, 100%, yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much, Azzy. Once
Thank
again,
you so much.
twitch.tv/AzzyVR. And then you have your YouTube, which is also AzzyVR.
Yeah.
Um,
I could send you the link for it.
yeah. I'll
Okay.
post it in the YouTube description. Is there anything else you want
Hmm.
to plug? Anything you're working on? Anything in the
Um,
pipeline?
well, I wouldn't have anything, but I'd say for anyone who watches this, don't don't go in with a blind like go don't go in blindly. Always go in with an open mind
Mm-hmm.
and be positive and just understand that things takes time.
Yeah.
Everything takes time and
Yeah.
time is important and is key to your life to being successful or even, being happy.
Yeah.
So make every moment count and
Yeah.
live the way you want to live.
Yeah. That's great
That's
advice.
that's all I have.
Yeah. Have goals in mind and like I was talking about this with my friend Olivia the other day, and
Hmm.
she specifically said, have a 5-year plan with your goals. Don't try to do everything in a month or even a
Oh
year.
yeah.
You know, things take time it takes time to learn skills, and it takes time to figure out who you are. And
Mhm.
this specifically as a content creator. And you're gonna make quote unquote mistakes, but they're not really mistakes. They're just things you learn from, I think. And yeah, go into it with an open mind, but also I like you're positive, optimistic, but realistic, and I think those two things are important to do together. You
Mhm.
don't want to just have blind optimism because you're gonna get hurt because you're gonna not. It's never very rarely a clear shot to the top
Mhm.
where you want to be.
Yeah, of
Um,
course.
yeah. Anyway, thank you so much. I hope you enjoy your Korean barbecue. It was lovely having. I'm fucking jealous.
I want to take you. I want to take you to
We'll
Korean
go. We'll go.
barbecue.
I
All
cannot
right.
wait to visit SoCal in October. I'm very psyched. I have my plane ticket. I got my Airbnb booked.
I gotta I gotta I gotta like take a week off from school to do it.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you can, I'm already planning ahead so I can take a week off. Like I'm
Oh yeah,
building up
same.
my paid time off and stuff. And yeah,
Mhm.
I'm excited to go. But anyway, yeah, I won't keep you any longer. Bye everyone. Thank you guys for watching once again. AzzyVR, super lovely, and I hope we can hang out more. Like you always feel free. I
Yeah,
know you're like I don't want to request off you. Just like request off me whenever you see me online. Like please, I would love to see you more.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
Bye everyone. I'm gonna end there.